Welcome to IVDNN's Good Morning World. Today we are going to discuss about a golden opportunity to fight a war and become a superpower is right in front of India, and don't miss this chance. Please stay with us. We are going to discuss the matter in detail. Today we are came under a big controversy because first of all India and China are against each other's throat. At the same time, we are seeing that now there are more dangerous enemies, not the Pakistan and China, but the people who are supporting them from inside India. And the report has come that a major political party has taken party fund using NGOs and routed the money through that, collected money from China. This is a threat to the nation because they have been selling the India as a nation to the enemies. There is no wonder that a leftist also has said a single word against China when China has encroached into Indian territory, because most of these leftist parties, they may be 50 different categories. They collect money from China regularly and work for them as a satellite and create a maximum problem inside India, including law and order problem, paralyzing economy, sabotaging industry, using the trade unions. That is the way the countries from across our border is functioning and using our internal enemies for their favor. In that context, it is not China or Pakistan are the arch enemies of India. It is the invaders who work in India, hacking the mind of Indians, like a Bible, Quran and Communist Manifesto. They invaded to India and they hacked people's mind and using them like a hacked computer. And they have been using like and they have been using like a computer virus. They have already been injected some information in their mind and using them and guiding them using remote, and either by the masjid or by the church or the Communist Party's office, they have been guided to destroy the India as a nation. So what we have to do is that we have to train them and take them back and throw out all these invaders, Bible, Quran and Communist Manifesto as soon as possible and keep this country free from any law and order problem. 90% of the law and order problem and the law and order expenditure is caused by these three invaders, Bible, Quran and Communist Manifesto. The time has come for them to declare quit India like the way thrown out the Britishers. We have to throw out these three enemies who work inside India and work in favor of their godfathers across the border of India. India lost around 48,000 square kilometers or square miles of territory so far to China, because China keep on demanding and they were giving the money to the political parties in India and they were selling the Indian territory of 48,000 in return without paying a single penny for India. China has bought Indian territory because they, instead of paying money to the Indian territory or Indian land, they paid bribe to the political party who has influence, who is in the connection to power, and they sold the Indian territory to China for around 48,000 including Aksache. Now it has become a headache of the present government to recapture all this land from China, which is going to cause a lot of lives of a military person. At the same time, the Chinese soldiers also going to die. So all this scenario has come because China came to border believing that the old regime is still supporting them. Unfortunately, China lost all the money it has given to the Rajiv Gandhi Foundation. Now China is asking the Rajiv Gandhi Foundation, Sonia Gandhi and Rahul Gandhi to return their money. And the time has come to declare conduct a CBI inquiry about this scam and find out how much money has been paid, how much money has been spent, and what way they have invested this money, where they have spent it, how much money they have invested in the Swiss bank. All this has to be investigated and arrested and try them under the existing law and punish them as soon as possible before they escape unscathed. Now the time has come to take action against the left parties, because in 1962 left parties have supported China and India lost land. That time we should have banned this party from India, and now the time has come to ban this India. Otherwise the leftists are going to work as a satellite for China in India, and the entire India is going to be paralyzed. They even use the trade union to strike Indian factories and paralyze our employment system, our road, everything will be paralyzed. So the time has come to ban left parties with immediate effect and confiscate their all real estate, around 5,000 crore rupees real estate they have acquired so far. It has to be confiscated and auctioned and distribute that money to the poor people in India who has been affected, the laborers, and transfer that money to their bank account. Now it is clear that India will have only two parties, two sides. One is the poor Indian citizens who happen to love this country and obey the law. Secondly, the political parties who support Indian cause. Third is that the political parties, NGOs and their institutions run from across the border taking money and bribe. They become the agent of the foreigners and working for them. So the time has come to detect them, arrest them and send them to jail, or if possible hang them as soon as possible. Otherwise this country will become one day the land of the foreign countries. China will take over slowly all India, and we will keep on losing a lot of properties, a lot of land. Our institutions will be compromised. Our radio stations and our vital institutions and organs will be captured indirectly using these agents inside, and they will use for their objective, and the country will be slowly surrendered, and Indians will become once again the slaves they used to be during the time period of Islamic regime. Islamic rulers captured India and Britishers captured India, and Indians never captured any country and used as slaves. So now the time has come for India to stand up and fight against the invaders. Before that we have to arrest all these anti-national elements inside India and hang them as soon as possible. Now there is another issue. There are so many converts who has already went to the church and feel that they have committed a mistake. The time has come for them to return using a kind of reconversion, so that the number of people working for against the nation as an agent of the church, masjid and communist party's office can be reduced. One of the person whom I can highlight is that the singer Jesudas. He says that I am a devotee of Lord Ayyappa, I am a devotee of Hindus, I am a devotee of Lord Shiva. Then why he is continuing as a stooge of the church? The time has come for him to reconvert, so that the other converts who was already going can also be reconverted. He says that I am a Christian. There is no Christian in India. If you test the DNA of his DNA, it can be proved that he is also one lower caste Hindu, had converted and gone to the church. So these are the people who actually work for the nation's interest. If he converted, then all other converts already going to the church and the masjid will also reconvert, and the number of people who has been used by the church and the masjid and all these invaders can be reduced, and we can reduce a lot of money wasted for the national security and law and order problem. Now another thing is that Pakistan, we don't have to worry about Pakistan. Now Pakistan is afraid of India. Why? Because we dared to take China and we have beaten them up. So that China has already lost so many soldiers and on a duet. And if now China knows that if there is a war, both sides will have equal, at least not more, casualties. And it will change China, because India is fighting for its life, like Poland fought for its survival in during Second World War. And the same way India is fighting for its survival and with the support of the world community and their conscience. Whereas China is isolated. If China lost a number of soldiers more than or India or equal to India, it is going to be a shame for China, and China will never ever become a superpower. But if India will make a war at any cost, this is the right time to give a war to China, and then India, if prove that it has a capability to take China, then you will become a superpower. Now India has shown that it is not a weak country, it is ready to take anyone. And this resolve to stand on its own feet and fight its own war all alone made India one of the most favorite of the Western nations. Now Western nations are going to listen India more, and Western nations are going to support India for the permanent seat in the Security Council of the United Nations, for which India has to trigger a war and take Aksajin and the 48,000 territory it has lost so far, and if possible liberate Tibet from Chinese rule and make it as an independent nation and declare it as an independent nation, help Tibet to draft a new constitution and create a new Tibet like Bangladesh. Then the world nations will honor India as a superpower, and India can easily become a permanent member in the United Nations. And this chance India should not waste. This opportunity we will not get anymore. So the time has come to trigger the war and take back 48,000 square kilometers of the land lost since 1962 and liberate Tibet immediately, because this chance is a golden chance for India to become a superpower as soon as possible. Because Chinese army doesn't have any experience, most of them are conscripted young guys who is working, but the Indian army has fought many wars and you are a seasoned armed force. You have seen and fought war, seen bullet, live fighting, bombing, everything you have witnessed. You can easily attack. The only dependence of China is that their technology, military and advanced number of people and fighters, but that is not enough. Use military tactics and war tactics, new strategies, and win this war. Don't be afraid of their military might, because if your war strategies are very good, then it is easy for you to fight and win this war and take over 48,000 kilometers. Otherwise, you will have to wait for one more generation. This chance India will not get. If it miss this chance, take back 48,000 and show the world India is a superpower, then it is easy. Within a 2 years time, India will become a permanent member of United Nations. Most probably, China will be thrown out as a permanent membership, like Taiwan was being done and given to China. The same way India will be given this permanent seat if they will not expand it. If expanded, it is good for China. China can exist in the UN Security Council. Otherwise, China will be thrown out and India will have to take over. And with this, we end this week's IVTNN's Good Morning World. Thank you for watching IVTNN's Good Morning World.